Hi, my name is Lucy Ann Griffith, and I am going to do an informative speech today. And it's going to be on grandparents raising grandkids and how families are affected. There is an increase in grandparents raising grandkids, mainly to do with substance abuse, mental health, abandonment, teen pregnancy, and other issues. And oftentimes we wonder, as the parents of those that are not parenting their own children, have we done something wrong? It's an awful feeling sometimes, but it really has nothing to do with us. It's our kids doing their own thing. We've raised our kids. We think it's time for us to have our own independence back. We think it's time for retirement. I mean, not that I'm at the retirement age, but many people that are stuck doing that, raising grandkids, and we do it as a choice. The choice is either because of substance abuse or mental health issues, the children either have to come to live with us or they go into foster care. And there are some people that just say send them to foster care. Let them be adopted out. Our family faced that decision. My granddaughter was born in September of 2012, and my son was 16, turning 17 when she was born, and her mother was just 16. They had drugs and a very volatile relationship, and it played a big part because we as grandparents had no right, no way of protecting her. We tried using the CPS system, and because my son was so young, she was taken to foster care even though we were the ones that made the report because he's always going to be my son. There are plenty of people that are dealing with this because our kids are making really bad choices, and they are grown, and these babies they're having cannot protect themselves. There's time, energy, our focus is redirected. There's families facing bankruptcy, foreclosure. They're spending their life savings to raise grandchildren. PBS NewsHour there's 2.7 million families raising grandkids, with 1/5 falling below the poverty level, up 7% from 2009 had to do with opioid addiction. Foster home placement rose 1% in 2013 and 3.5% in 2014 to more than 415,000 children in the foster care system. About 1/4 of the grandparents that are taking care of their grandkids are disabled. So this epidemic is just as bad as the drug epidemic. These kids are getting lost in it. They're seeing what's happening with their parents through addiction, mental health issues. Then they're lost in feeling, why am I being raised by someone else? Especially if it's not a family member and they're just being put foster home to foster home. So we as a family decided that we were going to pursue my granddaughter. We were fortunate enough to be allowed to adopt her back in 2013. We just celebrated on May 2nd. 3 years of adopting her. So this is a growing, I don't want to call it a trend, but it's an epidemic. And my son struggled with addiction. He's incarcerated now. So if we're not willing to step up as families, there are foster homes, and these kids are being worse abused sometimes in the system than they were by the families that were raising them. So we as a society need to get control of what's happening with our kids, but in another term, we need to take care of the kids that are being lost in all this. 7 times? So thank you, and I just wanted to give you a little information today on grandparents raising grandkids. We are a house that's doing that, and there are many more of us out there. It is just as bad of an epidemic as the drug epidemic.
Amen.
Thank you.